Hiya! Welcome! So I've got two hip-hop albums to show you from the appropriately named website, hiphop.com. One was $18.99 and the other $19.99. I can't remember which was which, it doesn't matter. Over Halloween weekend, hiphop.com sent an email out saying that if you put a certain code in, you get free shipping on any purchase. Normally their standard rate shipping is $3.95, and if you want to go to the courier shipping, I think that's $6.95. I actually chose courier for this. I don't think it's actually got here any faster than what Royal Mail would have sent it, standard shipping, but it's here now, or they're here now, as there's two albums in here. So total price just under £40 and no postage to pay. That's good, it works out better than 10% off, I think. It's still a discount when all is said and done. So one of these albums is a little bit of an impulse purchase, but it has been something that's caught my eye before, and I've thought I might like that. I probably will get it one day, and today's the day. And the other album is one for a collection for a particular rapper who I collect in my record collection anyway. So if we get into this, I'm making a big old mess with this record mailer. Might have been better off using my knife, although I've put my knife away. Silly me. That'll be the invoice there. Got in easily enough, I've just made rather a mess of that sorter. Right, which one should I show you first? I'll show you this one first, I think. This one will be an addition to my collection for a now deceased rapper, so you can probably guess one of two names that it will be. It's a posthumous album, fairly new I think, might be around 2017 it originally came out, but it is The King and I, by Faith Evans and her late great husband Notorious B.I.G. So yeah, I've known this has existed for quite some time. I've not been absolutely desperate to get it. If I had, you would have no doubt seen me show you on the channel well before now. But I always thought, well, especially since I've started collecting the posthumous albums from both Biggie and Tupac Shakur as well, and you'll have seen some Tupac records shown on the channel quite recently. I thought I will get this at some point. I believe this has 2 discs in it, 2 LPs. It's going to be really difficult in this light and without my glasses on to read this hype sticker. But it says it includes rare and unreleased Biggie vocals. So what this is going to be, it's going to be like a Faith Evans album for all intents and purposes. Her vocals will have been recorded in rather more recent years, and then, as is the case for these posthumous albums, she's plundered the vaults for Biggie Smalls, for Notorious B.I.G., for old raps and freestyles, and maybe, well, as it says, there'll be some unreleased and rare Biggie vocals on here. I don't know if I'm going to be familiar with anything on here, probably not. Looking through the track list, but nothing's really jumping out at me, so this is going to be a completely new experience. Faith Evans, what do I think about her? Not got much of an opinion, really. My main exposure to Faith Evans has been when she featured with Puff Daddy on his massive 1997 hit single, I'll Be Missing You, which of course was the tribute single to the recently slain Christopher Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G. So yeah, just a nice addition to the Biggie collection, if a little bit inessential, but I'm glad I've got it, as it's something that I did want to get eventually. I think that's nice. Okay, now the second album. I'm really excited about this. I've not got anything by this artist before. He will feature on, most likely, some Tupac albums that I've got, and he might actually feature on one of the posthumous Biggie ones as well. Born Again, possibly, or duets, one of those, I think. But I've never owned anything physically by this particular rapper before, but this edition here looked so cool and just a really nice collector's piece. I thought, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger on it during this free postage offer at hiphop.com. I'm talking about Snoop Doggy Dogg's debut solo album, Doggy Style, but this is the picture disc version. I do love a picture disc. I love them probably as much as I love coloured records, you know, patterned and different colour, non-black vinyl records, of course. This is Snoop Dogg, or Snoop Doggy Dogg, as he was back then. His debut album, I believe, from 1993 originally. Needless to say, this is a much more recent reissue. I mean, a rather gaudy hype sticker there proclaims that it's on 180 gram vinyl. Oh, it's actually a 2 LP set, this, so there's actually 2 picture discs in here. I only thought this was 1 disc, actually, so that's made it better value, really. I'll be interested to see, and I will get it open in a minute, because I do want to have a proper look at this. I'll be interested to see if there's any difference between the 2 LPs relating to how they look. So you can see the track listed on the back there. I will be familiar with some stuff on here. Murder Was the Case. Gin and Juice is on here as well. Who Am I? What's My Name? That was another single that came out. Doggy Dog World, I know that one. So there's a fair amount that I'm familiar with. Executive producer is Suge Knight. Producer of the album is Dr. Dre. And this was originally out on Death Row Records, as if you probably couldn't guess. This obviously is a reissue by... the company is E1. I don't know if they're anything to do with Universal Music, as I know Universal seems to have a hand in a lot of record labels and album reissues now. Right, I do want to get this one unsealed. I don't think I'm going to worry about that hype sticker, unless I might try and open it more carefully, but being a picture disc, I'm not necessarily going to want to keep this old, or original I should say, cellophane on. I'll put it in one of my own protectors no matter what. Yeah, it just comes out like this, look. That's really cool. So that is presumably the first disc. Oh, there's a lot of different designs. I'll go through them in a minute. Snoop Dogg. I would never have called him my very favourite rapper. I kind of like him. I would never have said I was a massive fan. You know me, I skew towards Biggie and Tupac all day long, really, and there's 1 or 2 others who I've touched upon in the past, you know, more like the group type of acts like NWA, Public Enemy, Run DMC. I've collected albums by them as well. But actual solo rappers, Snoop Dogg, and, you know, I think he was way more of a credible artist back in 1993, you know, nearly 30 years ago. Now he's the guy who appears on Just Eat ads, for Christ's sake. But anyway, I know there's some good stuff on this album, so that was another reason for getting it, really. I just thought this particular picture disc edition would be a nice addition to the collection. That's presumably LP1 side 1. I'm hoping some of this comes out well on camera, because I'm shooting this in the evening, and yeah, I've got my extra lighting on, as I always have. But I can't actually see a bloody thing right now. That's got to be side B, so... that's nice. It's obviously a lot more subtle. That's the familiar album sleeve, so that's bound to be side A. But here's side B, and it's a headshot of Snoop Dogg, or Doggy Dogg. And it lists the tracks on both of these sides here. Very nice. And I think that might be side C, but I'm not sure, to be honest. This one has got a little bit of a joint in his mouth there. You ought to extinguish that. It looks like it's about done. So yeah, Snoop Dogg, side C, or LP2 side A, whatever you'd want to call it. They're calling it C side and D side. You turn it over and there's sort of a graffiti style logo here. So yeah, I really like picture discs. I don't have many. I've got a Motorhead one. I've got 1 or 2 others. I try and pick them up for stuff that I'm into and people that I collect when I can. And this just seemed to be a bit of a no-brainer, really, especially during a free postage offer at hiphop.com. So, yes, that's Doggy Style on 2 disc, and I only thought it was going to be 1 disc, this. 2 disc, picture disc, vinyl. So have a little look at this outside sleeve here. Oh, it's got a little download card. If anyone wants that, I don't even know if it's coming up properly, actually. Probably not. Probably upside down or whatever. If anyone is interested in that, but they couldn't see it in this video, let me know and I'll pass you that code on. I never tend to bother with them. I do pass them on to friends sometimes when I get records with free download codes, but I'm not sure anyone who I normally pass these on to would be massively interested in owning a digital copy of Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, but you never know. So yeah, I think this is my favourite pickup of the two, simply because it's quite unusual. It's a bit gaudy, and I think the artwork really, it looks dated. It really does look of its time. It doesn't look particularly timeless, and I don't think you'd see any major artist release an album that looks like some sort of weird comic book crossed with gangster rap and thug rap motifs anymore, but there we go. But I'm really happy to have Doggy Style.
That's what she said.
And I'm also happy, of course, to have The King and I, the final Notorious B.I.G. album, apparently, unless more archive stuff is found, and his mother and whoever else controls his back catalogue, Faith Evans, obviously, she has a hand in it, being his wife, unless they decide to plunder the archives some more in the future, who knows. But that's a couple of purchases from hiphop.com. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this look at 2 new records for the collection. I want to say special thanks, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. Beautiful people, each and every one of you. All my usual referral links and my Patreon and Facebook group links are all down in the description text box. You can go and find out how to help support this channel, and more importantly, save yourself some money on stuff. Not sure records are going to be there, although of course I do have my 20% off code at theretro.co.uk for their monthly vinyl club, and look out for November's vinyl club unboxing coming along in a matter of weeks, no doubt. If that, could be next week. I've not received it yet as of me talking about it, but it's coming because it's a monthly subscription. Anyway, I'm going to go now, and which should I listen to first? I think I'm probably going to listen to Doggy Style first. I'm familiar with a lot more on here, and it might get me into Snoop more. I certainly enjoy his earlier stuff than to what he's been doing, kind of pissing around really in more recent years, but he's still with us, and perhaps that's a minor miracle in of itself. So let's celebrate that fact, and I'll listen to Snoop Dogg and Doggy Style, and then Faith and Notorious B.I.G. afterwards. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next hip-hop and rap record mail opening video. Cheers everyone. See ya!